Welcome back, Raider Nation. The Raider Roster Report. This is Raider Sparks coming at you with another episode, and today kicks off free agency. So exciting time for the Raiders. You know, the tampering period officially begins today. So I'm hoping Coach McDaniels and Dave Ziegler are listening to this so we can get what we need out of them to get the Raiders going here and get them fired up. Last year we got off to a slow start in free agency, but you know, this year we got lots of money to spend. Let's spend it smartly and really improve this team, specifically the defense. It definitely needs it. So anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe, but definitely comment. I like the comments that I've been getting back. Good feedback. Really like hearing what Raider Nation has to say out there and kind of what your thoughts and opinions are. Just kind of a lot of fun to do it. And this is probably the fun time of the year, really, building the roster, and it's kind of why we did it, or why I started doing it anyways, to try to get the team, or try to kind of watch the team closely. You know, hopefully they got to the Super Bowl in their own stadium, so hopefully it happens. I mean, everything that I talk about today, if we go out and get Lamar, sign Rodgers, or Brady comes back out of retirement, forget everything I just talked about. Free agency, you know, we should just spend as much money as we possibly can. And build the best team we can and go for the Super Bowl this year. If we end up with those three guys, awesome. If we don't, we need to do a few things. And some do's and don'ts for Ziegler and McDaniels. Please, please, please stay within your budget. You know, I know it's tempting to go out and restructure a bunch of contracts. Over the cap has us about 44 million that we could restructure. As far as some of the bigger contracts, please don't do it. Adams, you can do 4 million, that's cool. Carlson, $1 million. But the other guys, we don't know if they're the long-term answer for, especially Jones. I mean, there's 11 million that you could save, but only do that if we're going to commit to the other three quarterbacks to go for the Super Bowl. Other than that, just our dead money is great, our cap is great. You guys have done a good job on all that stuff, so please don't ruin that for next year. Stay within your budget this year, and let's go for big next year, so we don't have a bunch of dead money. So refrain from the restructuring thing if you can. But right now we have about 47 million in cap. Oh, some more dues. You know, obviously we have to draft well. Our draft classes need to hit from this past season and coming forward. Those have to happen for this team to have success, because we have so many holes on the roster. We can't possibly do it through free agency. So these drafts need to go extremely well. And then the don'ts, or actually one more do, is on defense, you know, concentrate the money on defense. Our offense is cool. The draft is set up in a way that linemen, we're going to get them in the draft, hopefully. Tight ends, we can get a tight end in the draft, you know, those types of things. Let's focus on the defense. We need 3 to 5 top 101 prospects. So on NFL.com, the top 101 prospects, we need 3 to 5 of those guys signed for more than 1 year. So, you know, hopefully we get the guys that are, you know, on this, below 30, so we can give them longer-term contracts, and it'll really help the cap out. So that's kind of the focus. And then please don't sign Jimmy G. Please don't. I know you're probably going to, and as a Raider fan, just go with Stidham, draft our rookie, and let's roll. If you do sign Jimmy G, I understand it. You know, I'll back it. That's fine. Don't go over $30 million, please. And definitely, it's going to be a longer-term deal. I know it won't be 1 year because you're going to want to spread the money out. But build it out in the clause for 1 year so that we can move on to our rookie quarterback in a year and don't have to stick with Jimmy G, especially when he gets hurt, which is going to happen. So hopefully you're on board with that. Those are the, you know, I guess the do's and the don'ts, you know, and kind of go from there. So we're at 47 million right now in cap space. And so when I put this together, I try to figure out the numbers first before I start attacking free agents, because there's so many good free agents. We have so many holes. I could like say, let's sign every one of them, right? It's that good of a free agency class, and specifically on defense. There's some really good players out there. It's just a matter of how we allocate our money and smart with it. But first thing we got to do, and another to-do for these guys, and I was hoping that a lot of this would be done, and we've signed, you know, four of our guys back. We're really 5 with Jacobs, but all on offense. Nobody on defense yet. So I think there's some guys that we need to bring back. You know, I'm not sure yet about Rock. We'll talk about him and Perryman in a minute, but Stidham definitely. Hollins, I think, should come back unless you want to sign another big target receiver with some speed. That's cool. But Illuminor be another one. Jacob Johnson, Andrew Billings, and Harmon. So I think those guys they're probably 1-year deals, maybe more. Maybe you can finagle the cap a little bit with some longer term deals. But I was kind of penciling in 17 million for those guys, which will leave us about 30 million for the rest of the year for free agency and things like that. So I was kind of going off of that. And I wanted to say, okay, if I have 30 million, you know, I obviously don't want to use all of it. So what's a realistic number that maybe we could spend? And I came up with contracts amount of $35 million that we should want to spend over 4 years. So basically four deals, 35 million, or basically spend 140 million over 4 years. So not so much the deals, but the amount, because that would basically mean an annual of 35 million, which if we do it over 4 years, you could spread it out. And the cap hit for this year would be 17 million. Yes, next year it'd be about 40 million, but that's fine because we have guys like Chandler Jones, 19 million that come off. Nichols might come off. We don't have really any dead money right now because you guys have done a good job on the cap. So that's kind of the number I was targeting. Hey, let's get a core group of guys, spend about 140 million on the contracts. 4-year deals, right? 35 million annually, that type of thing. We could get our cap down with that to about 17, 18 million dollars. So it'd still leave us another 12 or 13 million dollars if we needed to go sign like a bigger Mayfield for like 5 or 8 million, or another veteran quarterback, or just have money left over for after the season starts, or to fill in more holes or whatever. And knowing in the back of my mind, I still have Josh Jacobs, I can get a long-term deal and reduce his 10 million cap number for this year. And so I still have that available to me. And a couple other guys, you can get Adams restructured and save 4 more million. Carlson saves $1 million. Or you can move on from Blind Nichols or Andre James or whatever and create even more cap space. There's a lot you can do. So that's the number I kind of wanted to target. And so I thought going into this, like defensive tackle, I'd get the best one, and linebacker, I'd get the best one. But I started kind of putting it together, and it was tough because that Payne contract is huge. Like Draymond Jones, I thought he was going to come in around 8 to 9 million. He's all the way up on Spotrac to 17 million, which means Hargrove and Fletcher Cox are going to be like 15 to 20 million dollars, and I don't want to sign those guys long term to that kind of a contract, and I don't sign a bunch of 1-year deals. Like our guys we're re-signing, it's fine, but we need core guys. We need guys who are going to be here for a while, and that's what this free agency is about: getting the young guys signed on their first big deal after the rookie contract, hopefully, and getting them here for the long term. And so that's ultimately what I want to do. Not to say I wouldn't want Fletcher Cox or Hargrove or Jamon Jones, because I do want those guys. It's just the contract, when I was putting it together with the rest of the free agents that we might be able to get, it's hard to get to that 140 million or the 35 million dollar amount for this year to get to that 17, 18 million dollar cap space after bonuses are paid, that type of thing. So that was difficult. So I went with Dalvin Tomlinson, and he's not even, NFL.com doesn't even have him on the top 101, which is fine. Maybe help us out because he's like 8 million right now on SportTrack, but if we can get him less, great. But his numbers aren't fantastic. However, the reason I wanted a D tackle so bad and a professional defensive tackle, one, the draft isn't great for it, but two, it unlocks our $19 million pass rusher. We saw it a little bit with Tillery last year, what a real professional, excellent defensive tackle could do for Chandler Jones. And so it's like 2 for 1. We're getting an edge rusher and a D tackle, and he's been great in the system before. So I say that's got to be the guy because of the price point. He knows the system, and a defensive tackle is a must for us because it unlocks Chandler Jones. And I was trying to get an edge rusher and doing this math because there's some good edge rushers. There's Zach Allen. He's very good. He's going to be expensive, but he would be a great pickup. And then Sansom, I don't know his last, it's Adamuke, I don't know, Adakam from the 49ers, really another good guy, especially on pressures. He's really good at that. But it was just kind of hard with the numbers. So Dalvin Tomlinson, let's go with that. I didn't do a defensive end, and then a safety. I just went ahead and said Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is the best one. 6 interceptions over the last few years. Over his 4 years, he's been very consistent, especially with pass breakups, PBUs. He's had, I think it was 8, 13 one year, and then 7, then 8 last year. combined with the 6 interceptions, led the league last year, and he's versatile. So the other safeties are really good. Jordan Poyer is the wrong side of 30 for me. So he'd be good, but I mean, again, I want to get guys long term. Jesse Bates, Von Bell, Taylor Rapp, Julian Love would be great, but let's get the best right now. And Chauncey Gardner Johnson is not just a safety, he's a defensive back. He can cover, he can play corner, he can do whatever you need him to do, gets his hand on the ball. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. I didn't realize how bad our defense really was. I'm sure Raider Nation, I'm sure you do. And I'll get back to the names that I like in a minute, but I just want to share some stats with you. I did not realize this, how bad our defense actually is. And Coach McDaniels said it, we need to hit the quarterback. We need guys that can hit the quarterback, and we need guys that can touch the ball on defense. And here's why. We had 6 interceptions, which was tied last in the league. We had 27 sacks, which is 30th in the league, almost last. Hurries, we were 25th, so bottom third. Pressures, we were bottom third in pressures. Turnovers, we were dead last in turnovers. PBUs, we had 55, which was 31st, which is second to last. Not good. Forced fumbles, we were bottom third in the league with 11. And then tackles for loss, again, bottom third in the league. Even though we have Max Crosby, who I think led the league in tackles for loss, had 12.5 sacks, we were still this terrible on defense. And the worst, I did not realize this one, but the worst case thing is, our blitz rate was 26%. We were 12th in the league in blitz rates. I did not realize that. So we're blitzing and not doing anything. That's horrible. That's why our defense is so bad. That's why we need to get these players. So right now, Dalvin Tomlinson changes our defense, unlocks Chandler Jones, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, changes the back end, and then I went ahead and got a cornerback. I mean, James Bradbury, Jamal Dean, those guys are going to be pricey, right? It's going to be tough. Rocky Sin, pricey. Jonathan Jones, he's probably who we're going to get from New England, but he's pricey. Byron Murphy, Shaq Griffin. The best case possible that I found was Cameron Sutton from Pittsburgh at $7 to $8 million. Perfect, right? He had 3 interceptions last year, 15 PBUs. The Chauncey Gardner and Cam, they would add 9 interceptions, so that's 2.5 times more interceptions. So it gives us, we go from 6 to 15, right? Just with those 2 guys, and then PBUs, we go from 55, we add 28 PBUs just with those 2 guys. It changes our defense. And so, yeah, so I went with Cam Sutton. And then I wasn't going to do this. I thought that I would be like all in for one linebacker. Tremont Evans is the guy I would want. So if we only get 3 top 100, fine. Let's Tremont Evans, let's make him one of them. Chauncey Gardner, probably Dalvin Tomlinson, right? It was probably the 3 I'd go with. But I was like, hey, you know what? Kaiser White, Jermaine Pratt, I really like him. That'd be my other option. David Long, I like. Drew Tranquil, right? Kaiser White, there's a lot of guys to like. There's a lot of older guys to like. Devontae David, Bobby Wagner, Denzel Perryman, too. But again, you're not going to be given long-term contracts to those guys. So I was like, there's 2 up-and-coming guys that have gotten their shot one time, one season, and they were awesome, right? Bobby Okery from the Colts was playing behind Shaq Leonard. Led the league last year in solo tackles with 99. He got his shot. He's ready for the green dot. I say, and he's 26, 27 years old. Azeez Al-Shaair from San Francisco last year had 102 tackles. He was behind Warner and Greenlaw. He's ready, right? He's a Will. We're bringing these 2 guys in as our Mike and our Will. Now all of a sudden, Diablo, Masterson, Butler, they can fight it out for Will spot. We can draft a guy. We have more competition, but those guys are backups. They're not starters. These 2 guys are ready to start, and we can get both of them. So the 5 guys I mentioned would be around $35 million over 4 years, $140 million. The cap hit would be $17 to $18 million, leaving us about $13 million in the bank to be able to spend on other needs, things like that. So those are the 5 guys that I want. Obviously, we probably won't get all those. I know that, right? Obviously, Dalvin Tomlinson not even on the 101 list. I think I mentioned that. But anyways, so that's kind of where I'm at with the free agency. Those are the guys I want. I mean, if we go for Brady, Rodgers, Lamar, then yeah, let's get Hargrove. Let's get Draymond Jones. Let's go big, right? Let's get some of the Bobby Wagner. Heck, all 1-year deals. Just let's go for it, right? Devontae David. And some of these guys we can. Most of the guys I talked about are under 30, or all of them are under 30 that I want to give the long-term deals to. Some of these guys are right at 30, like Bradbury is fine. I mean, Hargrove is 30 as well. A longer-term deal, 3-4 years, okay, we could do it. But those guys are going to want a lot more money than I think we are planning. Anyways, hopefully McDaniels is listening to this. Ziegler, you're listening to this. This is what Raider Nation needs. We need guys in their prime, guys we can sign long-term, guys we can build our future defense around. Give Max support. Maring's out there, right? Hobbs is supposed to be a really good player. Let's give them the help they need and turn these stats around that I mentioned and get our defense in the right direction. I mean, I wrote down, sorry if I look down real quick, but at a defensive end, we'd have Jones and Crosby, and I don't know if Kuntz is going to make the team. But so we still have openings here. Last year we broke camp with 5, right? So if Kuntz makes a team, that's 2. You know, I say we bring in a Sam like Yasir Abdullah out of Louisville late in the draft. He'd be great. Edge guys, there's great edge guys in the draft. Tyree Wilson would be phenomenal, right? Felix Adeduke would be great. BJ Ojolari, awesome. Nolan Smith would be fantastic, right? And so it's a great edge class. So the guys I pick kind of match the draft. It's a great edge class, a cornerback class. We can get, like with what I just did with Sutton, Webb, we got Tyler Hall, we got Hobbs, we got Robertson. We can get another starting cornerback in the first 3 rounds. There's that much depth at cornerback. So the guys I picked out match what's in the draft and what's not in the draft. Impact defensive tackle right now, outside of Jalen Carter, it's not there, right? We need to develop a guy. Just like we develop our 2 young guys now, it's hard for D tackles to come in and have a major impact right away. That's why we need Tomlinson and you know, and let the draft fall. Get Dexter Gervin and develop him. He could be the next Chris Jones. He's that gifted, but he's very young and he's not quite ready yet. So that's kind of where we're at. Our linebacking group, I just mentioned, these 2 guys I just picked would start right now as our Mike and our Will. It'd be fantastic. We can still draft a guy. It's not the best linebacker group, but there's a lot of Will type linebackers, not a lot of middle linebackers. So hey, let's go with that plan. That matches what's in the draft and what our needs are. Safety, you know, it gives us Chauncey Gardner, gives us Harmon, Palomalo, Maring. We still have room for one more. There's some good safeties in the draft. We just don't have to force our way into safety early. We can wait for a Jason Taylor at Oklahoma State, something like that. If Jair Brown, he didn't have a great combat. If he falls from Penn State, Sidney Brown, if we want to get him early, that's fine. He's a good player. So those guys we get. Patrick McMorris out of San Diego State. So those guys we can get, but the guys I picked match the draft. But anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me who your free agents are. It's about to kick off. It's gonna be a wild day today. Hope everybody enjoys it. You know, the tampering period starts in a few hours from the posting of this video. So hopefully, Josh, you're rested, you're ready to go. Not like last year where we slept through the first day. Ziegler, come on, let's go out, get the guys I mentioned or similar, spend the money kind of how I kind of outlined it a little bit, and our team could be ready to rock and roll. Please be careful, Jimmy G. Please, please, please. If I say one more, just go stand up in a rookie, let's be cool. Let's just do that, right? Unless you're getting one of the other 3, the big names, let's just tamper the Jimmy G thing. If you do, be conservative. Watch out for the restructure. Stay within our means and our budget, and let's have a great season. Free agency season, I should say. And that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. We'll have more updates on free agency, more free agency talk, more draft talk. I'll get into my draft prospects, things like that. But for now, again, like, share, subscribe. More importantly, please comment. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. And that's all I got tonight.